Hello students, welcome to Chakani Institution YouTube channel. My name is Chakani Rutendo and I'm accounting expert. So if you are new to the channel, make sure that you subscribe, like and also turn on the notification bell. So today I want us to discuss a PPE at a varsity level. So I want us to talk about the PPE at a varsity level. So the PPE, it simply means a plant, property, and equipment. So PPE is the same as plant, property, and equipment. So this PPE is the same as the fixed assets, is the same as tangible assets. And then in this particular PPE, I want us to try by all means today to discuss the important aspect. What is the most important aspect under PPE? Number one is to find a depreciation. You need to find a depreciation. So in order to find a depreciation all the time, you need to know about which method are they using. We have got different types of method: units production method, diminishing balance method, and also a straight line method. So I have the activity here, which I want us to try by all means to understand the calculations of the depreciations. So the activity is as follows. They are saying that on 1 January 2017, the following balances, amongst others, appeared in the records of ACPTY Ltd. And then we are given the information at the beginning. The cost of the plant at the beginning is 720,000. The accumulated depreciation at the beginning is 288,000. And then we have the additional information. They said, at initial recognition of the assets, the useful life of a plant was estimated at 5 years. At the initial recognition, this plant was estimated to have the useful life for 5 years, which is from the beginning of the year. And then they said depreciation is calculated by using the straight line method. Very much important. So the depreciation that we need to calculate, these people, they are using a straight line method. What is the formula to calculate the depreciation using the straight line method? The formula is cost minus the residual value, and then you divide by useful life, and then multiply by, sometimes you might have percentage, meaning that you're gonna say percent over 100, and then multiply by m over 12. So m stands for month. And then this is the method that we have, meaning that we want to learn how to find the depreciation under PPE when we are using the straight line method. And this is the formula that we need to use as a straight line method. And then they said no residual value is accounted for, and at the end of 2017 the remaining useful life of the plant is estimated at 3 years. They said at the end of 2017, which is our current year is 2017, and they said the useful life have been estimated to be at 3 years at the end of 2017. Remember, at the beginning it was 5, but at the end we are left with 3 years. So I will also go to that. So this simply means that if the estimated was 5 and at the end it was estimated to the remaining of 3, this simply means that there is a what we call a change estimate. How does the change estimate affected us? Don't forget that estimate their useful life. estimate their residual value. So here we don't have the residual value, we only have the estimate of useful life, which they said at the end of the year, it was estimated to a new estimate, meaning that when we are calculating the depreciation at the end of the current year of 2017, you need to bear in mind about the change in estimate which have occurred. So what are the impact of change in estimate? When there is a change in estimate, students, the depreciation calculations are affected as, meaning that you no longer calculate depreciation at cost, you calculate depreciation at carrying value. I'm sure you are following on that. So meaning that for that plant of ours, this plant, remember, we have the information at the beginning, meaning that when you calculate depreciation, you need to know whether you are calculating on old, you are calculating on sold, which is the same as disposal, or you are calculating on new. So this plant is old because this information was available at the beginning. I'm sure you are following that. And then they said we are calculating for the current year, which is 2017. Then this is the formula for straight line to calculate the depreciation. But this formula, students, will now change because there's a change in estimate, meaning that I'm no longer calculating at cost. I'm calculating at what? At carrying value. I'm sure you know how to get the carrying value. To get our carrying value, you take the cost minus what? Accumulated depreciation, which to my carrying value, when I minus, I'm getting 432,000. Remember, here I'm calculating for the current year using what? New estimate. New estimate. And then I don't have residual value, meaning that I'm going to say if there's a change in estimate, you said carrying value minus residual value, which here we don't have what? A residual value, we have got the carrying value. Then you divide by the change in estimate. Remember, at the beginning of the year, this plant have an estimate of 5 years, beginning of the year. And when we calculate the depreciation, we calculate at the end. Simply means that after, at the end, or the point of reporting, now already 12 months is gone from that 5 years. Simply means that our change in estimate that we have at the end of the current year is 4 years, which from next year and the next financial year is going to be what? 3. Simply means that I'm going to take the 5 at the beginning as estimated minus 1, because they said it was reduced to 3 years, meaning that for 2017 it's 4 years remaining useful life. Then that's why I said 4 years multiplied by. We never heard about the issue of the percentages. No percentages. Then we need to know what is M. How do you determine M? You follow the issue of the what is the type of the item is. Is it new? Is it disposal? Or is it old? If it's old, M is always 12. If it's old, M is always 12. Then the depreciation for the current year using the new estimate, I'm getting 108. So also confirm to see if we are getting the same thing. Then it's very much important on your calculation sometime to also indicate how the depreciation should have been if we are using the old estimate. For example, in the old estimate, we are going to say, remember, in the old estimate, it's when there's no any changes, means that we use the cost. What is the cost for this item? The cost is 720,000. And then we don't have residual value in this regards. Then we divide by what? The 5 years as we have. Multiply by what? Multiply by our M. Our M, we don't have percentage M, is still old, is 12 over 12. Meaning that if we were using the old estimate as if there's no changes, the depreciation here we're going to be 144,000, meaning that the new estimate give us 108,000. The old estimate, if there was no any changes this year, the depreciation we're going to be what? To be on the 144,000. So this is the issue of calculating the depreciation under the straight line method when there's a change in estimate. And don't forget that it's a PPE. I'm sure you're following that. If you have any question for this aspect number 1, please kindly comment with that question so that we can clarify more. So now I'm moving to the next aspect. Aspect number 1, let me change the marker. Aspect number 1, number 2, now we're coming to number 2. Aspect number 2, we want to learn on how to find the carrying value at end. There are people who have a problem on how to find the carrying value for the PP at the end. It's simple. The formula is cost minus accumulated depreciation plus depreciation for the current year. So don't mix the depreciation and accumulated depreciation. Accumulated is the depreciation that have been acquired for the previous year or accumulated for the previous year. But depreciation is the depreciation for the current year, which you already calculated, or we always calculate it. Then we are going to say, how much is the cost for this item? From our information there on the screen, it indicates that it has 720 as cost minus how much was given as an information from the previous financial year about the accumulated. They indicated that is 288,000 plus how much is the current year depreciation. Remember, our current year is 2017. This simply means that our current year is gonna be 108, the one that I've calculated on the first aspect. So meaning that the carrying value for this year is going to be 324. I'm getting 324,000. Can you quickly make sure that you confirm if we are getting the same thing? So this is the carrying value at the end, how to determine any carrying value at the end for a PPE. And then once I do aspect number 2, it means that I can do aspect number 3. Let's say they said prepare the statement of financial position. This marker is giving me a problem. Statement of financial position. And then you draw like this. Don't know if this marker is visible. So statement of financial position, meaning that PPE is what? PPE is NCA, non-current assets. Meaning that I'm gonna say, first of all, you put the assets as our main heading, and then you do what? You put non-current assets. And then you do like this. Then under non-current assets, which non-current assets we are talking about here is the property, plant, property, plant, and equipment. And then there we go. And then this property, plant, and equipment, you need to remember that when you take it to the statement of financial position, you bring what we call a carrying value. Then we already know how to calculate the carrying value. So our carrying value is 324,000, which right now, because it's only one, it also remain as our non-current assets. There we go. So this is how to deal with the issue of the statement of financial position. So I hope that you are also following. So make sure that it's not a plant, property, and equipment. It's a property, plant, and equipment. So rectify that error. And then we move to the last aspect of the first episode on PPE, which here I want to indicate the issue of, this is an aspect number 4. Aspect number 4, I want to talk about the change estimate. This is note number 24. What do you indicate on the note number 24? First of all, you are going to indicate that during 2017, change estimate of useful life was what? Was changed from what? From 5 years as estimated to what? To 4 years, because this year we're using 4 years. So during 2017, the change in estimate of the useful life was what? Was changed from 5 years to what? To 4 years. You just show the movement of the estimate. And then after that, you indicate the effects. Effects on change estimate. So we must also tell them what was the effects on change of estimate. The effects on change estimate was to do what? Was to reduce depreciation expense by. So remember, someone might say, why am I saying it's reduced? Because the current year depreciation using new information was how much? 108,000. Whereas using the old estimate was giving us 144,000. Meaning that the movement from here is a reduce. It just reduced. So meaning that it was reduced so much. If you can check here, the difference is 36,000. So meaning that it's very much important to know the depreciation using the old and the new, so that when you prepare this note of change in estimate, you indicate the reducing. If it was increase, I was going to say increase, but now it's reducing because from here to here, it's a decrease. So this is note number 24 of the change in estimate. So this is our PPE, the first episode. We calculated the depreciation with the change in estimate. I did the carrying value with you at the end. I also show you how to to prepare the statement of financial position. I also indicated how to prepare the note number 24 of change in estimate and our PP. I hope to see you next time on the episode number 2. Make sure that you share with your friends this first episode. Love you. See you next time.